Stated disappointment about the current state of education spending priorities in Washington.
I've never seen the kind of erratic and damaging budget battles that have now consumed us for these past 7 years. In many cases, education spending has simply been collateral damage.
New York's Attorney General Eric Schneiderman has filed a lawsuit against embattled Hollywood movie producer Harvey Weinstein and the Weinstein Company following an investigation into allegations of sexual misconduct. WCBS TV reporter Erica Logan reports on some of the details in the lawsuit.
He also allegedly harassed employees, telling them, quote, "I will kill you, I will kill your family," and words to that effect. Now, the timing of this lawsuit comes just before the sale of Weinstein's company was expected to be finalized. Before that happens, the Attorney General says he wants to make sure all victims are compensated and employees are protected in the future.
Authorities in New York say a Fort Bragg family has been reported missing. The Fayetteville Observer reports that Utica Police Lieutenant Brian Corometto said on Sunday that 25-year-old Travis Reynolds, 24-year-old Dina Reynolds, and their 19-year-old son, Cooper, were last seen on February 5th. The man and two children were being treated for smoke inhalation on Sunday with burns from a fire that gutted their home in Roanoke Rapids. You're listening to NCN News.
Break away from the everyday with Smithfield's Chicken and Barbecue.
Okay, in less than 30 seconds, I know I can make you hungry. Ready? Here we go. Chicken breast, chicken wing, drumstick, pulled pork barbecue, potato salad, coleslaw, sweet iced tea. I don't know about you, but I'm starving. Where am I going? I'm headed to Smithfield's.
Break away from the everyday to Smithfield's Chicken and Barbecue.
A Democrat in the governor's mansion, an unconventional Republican in the White House, new state, House, and Senate election maps, all important factors for politics and public policy in North Carolina. What does it all mean? Carolina Journal has the answers, available each month as a free newspaper, every day online at carolinajournal.com. Carolina Journal, your #1 source for government news that affects you. Visit carolinajournal.com today.
America dominates the snowboard slopestyle of the 2018 Winter Olympics in Pyeongchang. CBS News correspondent Steve Futterman is there.
What's better than winning gold at one Olympics? How about winning gold at two Olympics? That's what American Jamie Anderson did today, taking gold in the women's snowboard slopestyle, just like she did in Sochi 4 years ago.
It was a lot of pressure to defend the title, especially with just the level of riding escalating at a crazy rate.
Some, though, are criticizing Olympic officials for allowing the event to take place despite poor weather conditions. Steve Futterman, CBS News, at the Winter Olympics in Pyeongchang.
So far, 63 children have died from flu-related illnesses. 4 of those deaths were in North Carolina, and a total of 140 people have died in the state since the season began in October. If that isn't enough, doctors are now running short on flu tests. Dr. Kevin Campbell of Raleigh tells CBS North Carolina this is the most severe flu season in more than a decade.
It's the most widespread since the CDC has been tracking these things over the last 13 years. People are dying. It's a big deal.
Russian investigators are combing through a snowy field outside of Moscow to look for clues as to what brought down a passenger jet yesterday. All 71 people on board were killed. The plane's crew did not send any distress signals. Reporter Alec Loon is in Moscow. He says the regional airline is temporarily suspending its flight of an AN-148 passenger jet.
This is a Russian-made 2-engine airliner. The particular plane that crashed last night was made in 2010, and the company says that this plane joined its fleet in 2017. So it wasn't an old plane by any stretch of the imagination.
North Carolina might curb the number of paid holidays community college employees are allowed. That according to a recent audit.
Get your message to the thousands. Call the WCAB Sales Department today at 287-3356.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franklin. The White House is making a new push today on infrastructure. ABC's Alex Mallon tells us the president is set to meet with mayors from cities around the country.
President Trump is hoping for a follow-up to Republicans' win on the tax bill by making a new push for $1.5 trillion in investments to repair the nation's infrastructure. The president hopes to rally lawmakers to support a new proposal from the White House that calls for $200 billion in new federal funds, intended to drive billions more in investments by states and local governments.
The White House is also are expected to send its new budget proposal to Congress today, including funding for a border wall. The president has also been talking about peace in the Middle East. ABC's Jordana Mayer is in Jerusalem.
In an interview with the Free Daily, Israel Hayom, President Trump said the Palestinians are, quote, not looking to make peace. He added he's not sure the Israelis are either. He gave no timeline for presenting the U.S. peace plan.
The Attorney General in New York is now suing both disgraced movie maker Harvey Weinstein and his old company, now in the process of being sold.
Harvey Weinstein created what the lawsuit called a toxic environment for women by repeatedly and persistently sexually harassing female employees. The lawsuit said his brother Bob and the company itself were liable because they were repeatedly presented with credible evidence, yet acquiesced.
ABC's Aaron Katursky, Weinstein's attorney, says many of the allegations are without merit. At the Winter Olympics in South Korea, ABC's Alex Stone tells us the deep freeze is letting up just a bit.
The intense wind and cold that have been delaying alpine skiing events here are expected to ease a bit this week. 50-mile-an-hour winds and negative 10-degree feels-like temperatures have been tough. But Amy Nguyen is from Canada, and she says she's still having a great time.
That's amazing. Amazing experience. I love it.
A new week on Wall Street after roller coaster run, futures are pointing to a higher opening at the bell in just a few hours. You're listening to ABC News.
Okay, so what do more Americans turn first in the morning to start their day? Go on, tell them, Robin.
Good morning, America.
George. Good morning, America. Sarah.
Good morning, America.
So, take it from Robin.
What's so good in the morning?
With ABC's Good Morning America.
To relieve muscle cramps in your legs and feet, use TheraWorks Relief. This fast-acting foam is clinically proven to relieve leg and foot cramps. TheraWorks Relief can also prevent muscle cramps. Get TheraWorks Relief today at select CVS and Rite Aid pharmacies or TheraWorksRelief.com.
It's time to join the millions of people that meet happy with Zoom video conferencing. Zoom gives you flawless video, crystal clear audio, and instant sharing across any mobile, tablet, or desktop device. But the best thing about Zoom? It just works. So ditch the distractions, join the movement, and meet happy with Zoom video conferencing. Visit Zoom.us to set up your free account today. That's Zoom.us. Zoom video conferencing.
In the Senate, a bill is expected to be put up for a vote that would require more research on a better flu vaccine. ABC's Eva Pilgrim says there's also hope for a better drug once someone has the flu.
Packed hospitals and waiting rooms. The number of flu cases swelling. Now, an experimental new drug giving people some hope. A Japanese drug maker says it has developed a pill that can kill the virus within a day. But even if it lives up to the claim, it still has to go through the FDA approval process and wouldn't be available in the U.S. until next year at the earliest. The severity of this year's flu strains renewing the call for people to get the vaccine.
ABC's Eva Pilgrim. Florida lawmakers are now working on a new program that would allow kids who are bullied to go to private schools. The so-called Hope Scholarships would be the first of their kind in the country. New details are out today on the upcoming wedding of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. After the service on May 19th, they will take part in a carriage procession through Windsor. Some parents aren't too happy with the new Peter Rabbit movie.
Hey, here's a crazy thought. What if we don't go in? Because last time you almost got caught. Was so adorable. I could just eat you up. That's exactly what he wants to do to you.
Filmmakers now apologizing after the rabbits were shown pelting Mr. McGregor with blackberries. He's allergic and in the movie has to use an EpiPen. Parents of kids with food allergies calling it insensitive. This is ABC News.
Are you more than $10,000 in debt? Don't let the credit card companies bully you anymore. There are programs in place to help you get free of your debt, and you don't have to pay the entire amount you owe. Get free of credit card debt, signature loans, department store cards, internet loans, and medical bills. Total Financial Freedom has helped thousands. They're A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, too. Don't go bankrupt. You'll have the right to settle your debt for a mere fraction of what you owe. Call Total Financial now at 866-844-7344. That's 866-844-7344.
I'm Michelle Frank.
Have you noticed what's going on at Oakland Feed and Seed? Cheapest price in town on propane refills. 20-pound cylinder, $11.99. Forklift cylinder, $17.99. And the 100-pound cylinders, $55.99. Whole corn, $6.99 for the 50-pound bag. 10-10-10 fertilizer, $9.50 for the 50-pound bag. 17-17-17, just $12.50 for the 50-pound bag. Check with Oakland Feed and Seed for all prices. You'll find them the cheapest around. It's a generational thing. Your dad and your dad's dad shopped at Oakland Feed and Seed. Oakland Road, Svindale. Locally owned and operated.
We'll look for some patches of light rain around the region early today, otherwise cloudy and cooler than yesterday with a few sprinkles or areas of drizzle in the afternoon. We'll look for highs around 61 to 67 early today. Temperatures may fall from there. Tonight, plenty of clouds, some sprinkles or drizzle possible in spots with lows in the mid-30s to around 40. Then cloudy on Tuesday and much cooler with a small chance of some drizzle or light rain, highs about 40 to 46. I'm Mike Moss in the Weather Center.
That's what we're getting here in Rutherford County, some patchy light rain, scattered showers across the area. Right now we're at 58 degrees, getting up to 65 for a daytime high. There's rain in the forecast every day this week. Scattered showers, looks like today about 40%, 50% tonight, 40% tomorrow, and then again on Wednesday 20%. It goes from 20 to 40 to 50% throughout the week. So we have some scattered showers throughout the week. Now, the wind's going to be gusting today about 13 miles per hour, but not a bad day. Temperature is going to be up around 65, so that's spring-like almost, right? Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Wake-Up Call. We're so glad you're here on Monday morning. Hope you had a great weekend. 6 minutes now past 7 o'clock. I have these death announcements. Jane Shuttle Talley, age 75, died Tuesday, February the 6th. And her husband, Frank James Talley, Jr., age 79, died Thursday, February the 8th. A memorial service will be held at a later date to celebrate the life of Frank and Jane and will be announced by the family. Paget and King Mortuary and Crematory is in charge of the arrangements. An online guest registry is available at www.pagetking.com for Jane and Frank Talley, Jr. Died 2 days apart. Mrs. Denise Wood Poteet, 65, of Bostic, died Saturday at her residence. No formal services are planned, and Washburn and Dorsey Funeral and Cremation Service is in charge of cremation service for Mrs. Denise Wood Poteet of Bostic. Mildred Waters, 97, of Rutherfordton, died Sunday at Hospice House of Rutherford County. Those arrangements are incomplete and will be announced later by McMahon's Funeral Home and Cremation Service. Brenda K. Hoppus, age 64, of Bostic, passed away Friday at Hospice of Carolina Foothills. The funeral service will be conducted at 2 o'clock today at the Harrelson Funeral Chapel. Burial will follow in the Providence United Methodist Church Cemetery. Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Services has been entrusted with the arrangements for Brenda K. Hoppus. Ray Pittman, age 89, of Rutherfordton, died Tuesday at Holly Springs Senior Citizens Home. The family will receive friends from 12 until 1 today at First Baptist Church. The memorial service will be at First Baptist Church of Rutherfordton at 1 o'clock today. Burial will be private. Mike Mahan's Funeral Home and Cremation Services in charge of the arrangement for Ray Pittman of Rutherfordton. Those are the death announcements we have in the house this morning. Complete information on these and others as they become available to us can be heard right here at 11:35 this morning and then again at 5:10 as part of the afternoon report here on WCAB in Rutherfordton. Well, in the Tar Heel NC State game on Saturday, Tar Heels came away victorious 96-89. 96-89. A game heard right here on the radio, WCAB in Rutherfordton. This is going to be a busy morning. A little after 8 o'clock, we'll start giving away some preliminary Valentine prizes and have the big grand prize drawing tomorrow morning here on WCAB. A lot of cards have been sent in. It's not too late for you to get yours in to be in the grand prize. We'll have to have them in our hands by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, and we'll have the drawing for a lot of prizes, a lot of grand prizes included. Chauffeur limousine ride from your home to Gregory's for dinner for two. All that's happening tomorrow, but this morning there'll be some giveaway too. So don't miss it here at WCAB in Rutherfordton. Rush Limbaugh Morning Update is next.
United Airlines made a tough call this month when they told a passenger traveling from Newark to Los Angeles that she would have to leave her emotional support service animal behind. The passenger had a ticket for Dexter the Peacock, but United said, no way. Now, a 21-year-old college student's in the news over an incident that occurred last November. She was flying from Baltimore to her home in South Florida to take care of a medical issue. She had with her Pebbles, her dwarf hamster, which is part of the gerbil family, was going to provide emotional support for her. Now, when Spirit Airlines refused passage for the rodent, the student says she tried unsuccessfully to rent a car. After agonizing for several hours, the student claims that she followed advice from Spirit representatives and took Pebbles to the women's restroom. The student says she was scared, and so was Pebbles. Pebbles didn't know where he was going to end up, with good reason. So Pebbles was put in the toilet, and the toilet was flushed. It's bye-bye Pebbles. And after the deed was done, the student said she sat crying for 10 minutes in the stall and then flew home. Now, Spirit says they never told her to flush the animal down the toilet. They do admit the student was originally told that her hamster would be allowed to travel. As for the peacock, he should thank his lucky stars he can't fit in the toilet. Now, folks, do with this what you will, but all of it did happen. Really. Say, when it comes to identity theft, you have a choice, folks. You can rely on monitoring your credit and checking your bank statements, or you can get LifeLock to see more. LifeLock is able to see things you might not be able to see, like someone getting an online payday loan in your name. LifeLock uses proprietary technology to detect and alert you to a wide range of threats. And if you have a problem, one of LifeLock's specialists will work with you to fix it. Now, of course, no one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses. But with LifeLock, you'll have identity theft protection that allows you to see more identity threats than you may otherwise miss. Memberships start $9.99 a month plus applicable taxes. And you can get a 10% discount by using promo code RUSH. Just call 800-440-4833 or go to lifelock.com and use the promo code RUSH. That's RUSH. 10% off. LifeLock 800-440-4833.
Reaching 10 counties from the county seat of Rutherford. This is the mighty 590 WCAB Rutherfordton.
Hi, I'm Johnny Erkson Tata. Each year, about 1 in 10 babies in the United States is born prematurely. Premature birth is when a baby is born before 37 weeks. And for many of these infants, being born early can result in long-term health problems, including disability. Children who are born early may develop intestinal disorders or be born with hearing or vision impairments. Plus, their underdeveloped lungs can result in breathing difficulties. Premature birth has also been linked to cerebral palsy or autism. It's why finding and treating any potential problems as early as possible during pregnancy is so key in helping babies live longer and healthier lives. If you are an expectant mother, there really are good steps you can take to minimize your risk of preterm delivery. For helpful tips and information on premature birth, visit disabilitycampaign.org.
It can be a tough call when it comes time to provide daycare services for an aging parent or loved one. Rutherford Life Care can be just what you're looking for. Rutherford Life Care offers adults a safe and fun place during the day for medical monitoring, nutritional meals, and daily activities. Rutherford Life is licensed by the state of North Carolina Division of Aging. Call them today and let them answer questions you may have. That's 288-1697, 288-1697. Rutherford Life offers a staff of professionals who show the love and compassion that you entrust your loved ones to. That's Rutherford Life Care Services, located on Thunder Road, Spindale. Again, that phone number is 288-1697. Farmer's Friend Feed, Seed, and Supply will be opening that gate here in a few moments. They'll be open for you, and they have large quantity of square and round bales of hay and straw, and you can ask George for volume discounts as well. They now have propane. Come get your tanks filled. Propane grill tanks, 20-pound, only $10.99. And they also have cedar shavings, $6.99. Special deal on shavings for queen horse bedding, $3.75 per bag. Large pine flake, $3.50 per bag. And on we could go with super-duper savings at Farmer's Friend Feed, Seed, and Supplies, including things for your pet, your dog. You get generic dog food, 40 pounds for $11.99, and 20% off all dog beds. So get yours taken care of today. Sup, Farmer's Friend, from 7:30 until 5:30 Monday through Friday, 7:30 until 2 on Saturdays.
It was a dreary January day when a young 16-year-old boy wandered into Cosi, Texas, looking for companionship. And since young boys usually get what they're looking for, this young boy met a pretty girl, and they made arrangements to meet later at her place. The boy arrived at the appointed hour, and the two of them continued getting along famously. Then someone stepped on the porch and pounded on the door. The girl said it was her sweetheart. The door sprang open and the boyfriend entered. Expressing outrage at the situation, the boyfriend demanded $100 or he would kill the young boy. The young boy explained that he only had about $50 or $60 in his pocket, but if he could go to the stable, he had more money in his saddlebags. He would get it and be right back. Not a fool, the boyfriend said. Give me what you have first. Nervously, the young boy reached in his pocket and pulled out the money, dropping some on the floor. The boyfriend reached down to get the money, and when he raised back up, the young boy's pistol was pointing at his face. Without a moment's hesitation, the gun went off and the boyfriend fell over dead with a hole in his head. Incidentally, the young man was in Cosi, Texas, because he had barely escaped from Horn Hill, Texas, where he had killed another man. And the man in Horn Hill wasn't his first. He had killed about 6 prior to this. Oh yes, the young boy's name? John Wesley Hardin, one of the Old West's most famous cold-blooded killers. There's a lesson here. Con men should always check out their mark. You've just heard another story from Chronicle of the Old West. I'm Dakota Livesay.
Your car only needs one place to prepare for the cooler months ahead. RS Speedy Lube, Railroad Avenue, Ruth. RS Express Inspection Station can get you back on the road and keep you legal. RS Speedy Lube Station has 2 lanes to get you in and out in no time. They carry wiper blades and will rotate your tires. Complete car care altogether, including transmission flush and car wash. Count on Chris and his team to take care of all your car needs. Make it your first stop. RS Speedy Lube Service Center, Railroad Avenue in Ruth. One of the hottest things going on in automobile world today is the fuel-efficient Ford Escape from Sisk Family Ford. You get more value for your money with the Ford Escape, and you'll appreciate the comfort and the value in this remarkable automobile. Try one on for comfort today at Sisk Family Ford, and whenever you need top-of-the-line service on any automobile you own, be sure to bring it to the experts at Sisk Family Ford, Oak Street, Forest City.
18 minutes after 7 o'clock, not getting an answer yet at the Sheriff's Department. We'll get back to them in just a few moments, but we have Carrie online from the 911 Communications Center with our Monday morning report. Carrie, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Fine. What's on your report?
In the past 48 hours, Rutherford County Sheriff's Office 911 Communications has processed 647 911 and administrative calls. EMS had 58, Rescue 11, under Law Enforcement Sheriff's Office 158, Far City 88, Lake Lure 14, Rutherford 50, Spindale 105. Under fire calls, police had responded to a carbon monoxide leak. Rutherford responded to 2 motor vehicle accidents. STO responded to a motor vehicle accident. Spindale responded to a motor vehicle accident. Sandy Mush responded to a motor vehicle accident, and that was all we had.
Thanks so much. You have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. 19 minutes after 7 tonight. We have a big game on the radio tonight, UNC versus Notre Dame. 5:30 countdown to tip off, and we'll join that following News 13 at 6. And a big game, UNC and Notre Dame. UNC, of course, beat NC State on Saturday.
Health insurance is complicated, and with healthcare reform on the way, it's not getting any simpler. If you've got questions, we've got agents. Your local Farm Bureau insurance agent can walk you through the changes and offer you the right healthcare plan with the right benefits for you. Healthcare may be changing, but our superior service isn't. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
In Rutherford County, please call 287-2428.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina, Inc., Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
The Recliner Center is happy to introduce new styles of Spring Air mattresses. Some come with the cool gel that you're going to love. Remember the days when you could flip your mattress? Well, Spring Air is now offering the flippable mattress. Check out these for a really great night's sleep. The Recliner Center is needing to make room for some new styles of lift chairs, recliners, and sofas, and you're going to get some special deals on the floor models and extra inventory in the store. Now, you always know you get the best deals in town at the Recliner Center, and now's the best time to go shopping. Check on the inventory of new recliners, sofas, and lift chairs coming in. Now, some of the styles have a new water-repellent fabric. Water beads up instead of soaking into the fabric. Leave it to the Recliner Center to offer you the best choices and best prices. Ask to see the new wall hugger style furniture. Hours are Wednesday through Friday 9 to 5 and Saturday 9 to 2. The Recliner Center on Cooper's Gap Road in Rutherfordton.
We will check in now with Danieltown SDO Fire District, and Ruby Taylor is there to give us news from there. Good morning, Ruby.
Good morning.
What's on your report?
Well, the fire department had one call, and that was to a vehicle accident. And on my birthday calendar, I've got Sandra Robbins, Emily Russ, and Catherine Whitaker having birthdays, and hope these people have a nice day. And then Mr. and Mrs. Eb Connor is having an anniversary, and hope they have a nice day. And the signs are in the knees today and going to the legs tomorrow. Jim, that's all I got.
Thanks so much, Ruby. Have a great Monday.
You too.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, it pays to be prepared just in case. You never know when you're going to be without power. So why not go to Washburn Store and get some of those oil lamps and oil. They've got plenty of those. In case the power goes off at night, you'll always have some light. They've got a good selection of those oil lamps plus oil to go with it. In addition to that, you'll find a new shipment of Red Band stick candy and Wisconsin June cheese, always available there, and a lot of things you won't normally find other places because it's that kind of variety store. Country variety at Washburn Store, a historically significant store there between Bostic and Sunshine on the Bostic Sunshine Highway. Why not visit them today? And go ahead and get you a couple of those oil lamps. I don't like to be in the dark when the power goes off to you, but we have those lamps available. Keep your lamp trimmed and bright. It'll pay off in the long run, maybe. 22 minutes after 7. Now we're heading up to Rumbling Ball this morning and get a report from Steve, who's overlooking things there at beautiful Lake Lure. Good morning, Steve.
It's beautiful, I guess, in some eyes. I guess it's hiding out of the mud from the lake where it's not.
Pretty muddy, huh?
Exposed, yeah. I tell you, we had a fellow that decided, when we had that snow down there, decided to go riverbed riding in the snow.
Oh, man.
He got stuck. Yeah. Yeah, that was an interesting experience. I wasn't ready to run out there to go help him. But he found some folks that pulled him out, pulled his bumper off in the process. But
some people don't do anything, won't they?
Yeah, not a good idea. Yeah. But, it is soggy out there, and it's pretty warm, too. It's 56 degrees here. So, after a couple inches of rain, it's pretty soggy and muggy and all those wonderful things that go along with it Monday mornings. So, over the weekend, Gary tells me they had 3 trees downed. One outside the gate here, one that was on Buffalo Shoals, and 2 inside the gate here blocking roads. So they got those problems taken care of pretty swiftly. And nobody was injured, no power outages.
Good.
So those are the only calls they had this weekend. With all that rain, that's not bad.
It's not bad at all. There may be some more trees down today after that rain yesterday, and the wind is picking up some today. I hope not, but you never know.
I fully expect we're going to have some kind of issues related to that coming up today. So we'll just try to catch them as early as we can, and hopefully everybody's going to be safe after today. So,
have you been watching into the Olympics?
No, sir. I see a lot of drama about people making pronouncements about this, that, and the other. I just kind of lost the interest personally. People not liking the president, and people thinking that he should be doing this, lead the parade, and another one not liking the vice president. All that stuff. I'm thinking, I'm having a hard time.
Why not just go do your sport and compete and
exactly
let us enjoy that?
people will respect you more.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
Yeah, I agree with you.
So, but, for those watching the Olympics, I hope you enjoy it.
And the news media, of course, make a big deal out of everything.
You mean like the sister from North Korea?
Yes.
Yeah, she didn't say a word, just sat there smiling, and that made her a princess or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, great woman. Yeah,
Yeah. It looks like he's getting all the food still, even from his own sister. She looks pretty thin.
Yeah.
Anyway, I might say something politically incorrect here shortly. Yeah.
I hope you have a great Monday up there, and we will check back in with you tomorrow.
Okay.
Thanks,
See you, Jim.
Well, he's absolutely right. 26 now past 7, and we'll get back to the next phone call in just a moment. The entire team at Crow's Funeral Home and Cremation Services can help you with options available. They will help you find a balance between the emotional, spiritual, and financial needs of your loved one. During this time, it's important to turn to someone you can trust and depend on. Crow's Mortuary and Crow's Mortuary and Crematory has a long history of trust and dependability. Crow's Mortuary and Crematory. That's 286-2304. We're unable to get through to the Sheriff's Department this morning. Goes to a voicemail this morning, so perhaps they have their hands busy over there on some things, but we'll keep trying till we can get the report from them this morning. Meanwhile, let me remind you that the Drop-In Food Store is your hometown convenience store since 1981. They've been around a while, and the Drop-In is giving back to the community. Did you know the Drop-In in Major Leagues Deli were Rutherford County Veteran Services only Platinum contributor for 2017? Yep. And they plan on being a Platinum contributor again in 2018. The Drop-In has donated over $2,000 to St. Jude's Children's Hospital for the past 3 years. Drop-In, serving delicious food and caring for the heart of the community, too. Let's support the Drop-In. Come on. Drop-In. Let's check in now with Bob Hodge, I believe, up at Hudlow. Bob, how you doing?
Oh, terrible well for this Monday morning.
Well, that's terrible well. That's pretty good praise.
I'm ready to dry out. I'm soggy up here this morning.
I know. I'm about to mildew.
No. Oh, well, maybe we will. Maybe we'll get a little bit of clearing weather before it rains again there. Look.
Yeah. We'll have to keep those umbrellas put handy all week. It looks like it's going to be off and on scattered showers all week long.
Yeah, look like about every day there for this week, yeah. But maybe there won't be as much as we've had the last couple of days. Maybe it just be scattered or something. But
this is not even May. We're supposed to get the showers in May, right? May showers?
Yeah, that's right. That's when.
Or it's April showers.
No, it's April showers and May flowers.
That's right. There you go.
Yeah, April, next month, yeah. Well, Jim, up here with the fire department, it's been pretty quiet over the weekend. And we actually called a tree down on Old Gilberttown Road. And then we've had about 3 medical calls, and that's about it with the fire department. I want to say happy birthday to Quentin Samuels up here this morning. And, Jim, that's about it up here. Maybe we'll get a little break from the rain later on today there. And
be nice to see a little sun, wouldn't it?
That'd be good, wouldn't it there? It's old damp weather's hard on my bones there when you get old.
Oh, yeah.
Rheumatism, arthritis there.
You don't have that, do you, Bob?
Oh, I have it all about it there. When you get old, you start having all this arthritis and rheumatism and all these author brothers there. They get all over you there.
They don't like us too good, do they?
They don't like me too good, no. Well, Jim, you take care and have a good day.
Thanks, Bob. I hope you do too, and I'll see you next time.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bob Hodge up there in Mount Vernon community, celebrating with us today on this Monday morning with a report. We're being kind to Emily Russ with the Harris Elementary School. Lives in Forest City, celebrating a birthday today. And we want to wish her happy. Now, coming up during the 8 o'clock hour, between 8 and 8:30 is when we're going to do some more preliminary drawings for the preliminary prize winners of the Be My Baby Weekend promotion. And tomorrow, of course, will be the big grand prize when we have the big grand prize for the Be My Baby Weekend promotion, where we get to take a couple out for dinner. And we'll do that tomorrow morning. Now we have made contact with the Sheriff's Department this morning. Officer Greenway is on the phone to give me the report from the weekend. Good morning. How you doing?
Doing good, sir. Hope you're doing good.
Doing great, thanks. Glad we got in touch with you this one. Tell us what's been going on.
Okay, in the past 24 hours, we've had 159 calls for service, made 9 arrests, and there's currently 175 people in the jail. Our incident reports, Ronald Stevens reported an incident of felony larceny. There was a fraud in obtaining property by false pretense reported by Chase Little League. Elizabeth Smith reported an incident of financial card theft and misdemeanor larceny. Rebecca Kraft reported an incident of misdemeanor larceny. Bobby Joe Stanley reported an incident of injury to real property. And moving on to our arrest reports, Charles Truitt was arrested of failure to appear on a misdemeanor. Dan Marsh was arrested for child support. Rebecca Kraft was arrested for felony possession of cocaine and possession of drug paraphernalia, and that will complete the morning report this morning.
Officer Greenway, we appreciate that. We appreciate you reaching out to us and getting in touch with us since we were unable to make the connection. So thank you for getting back with us.
Absolutely. Y'all have a good day.
You have a safe day out there. Bye-bye.
Bye.
32 minutes after 7 now here on this Monday morning report, and we'll get over to our next reporter in just a moment.
I told my friend about Olmsted Plumbing, and boy, was she happy.
What did she have to say?
I told her to call 245-7302, and they would get right out there.
And did she say she would
I told her to ask around. Homeowners, builders, and everybody likes Olmsted. Eric and Chad Olmsted and their team understand the homeowners' needs, and I like that.
They have an inventory of replacement parts and specialized equipment and tools for any job.
I told her that, too.
Well, what was that number again?
245-7302. That's 245.
Yeah, I got it. 245-7302. Olmsted Plumbing. Now we're checking on over at Cherry Mountain Fire District, and we have Sue Price on the phone with me right now, I believe, to give us that report. And here she is. Sue Price, good morning.
Good morning, Jim.
How you doing this morning?
I'm doing okay. Hope you are.
You sogged in over there?
Sogged in. Looks like we're going to be that way for a while.
It's going to be rough on the Valentine folks tomorrow delivering flowers, isn't it?
Oh, no. But that's better than snow. Sometimes we've had to deliver in snow.
Yeah, that comes with the territory.
It does. Just take whatever comes.
That's right.
Make it through it. Well, let's see. I got 60 degrees this morning, so it's warm out there right now. That wind yesterday was cold. I guess it's going to blow again today. I hope we don't get trees down and get the power off. That's what I dread when the power goes off. But anyway, we take what comes.
We had a power outage over Friday around in our neighborhood. I don't know. We were all at work. We got an email or text from a neighbor. Friend said, "No need to rush home. The power's off," and it stayed off. By the time by 5 o'clock it got here, it was back on again. So I don't know what the problem was, but.
Probably a tree down, maybe. You never know when it goes off what's going on. Yeah, let's see. I don't have any birthdays or anniversaries on my church calendar. On my personal calendar, I got a birthday for Craig Abbey, so I hope Craig's going to have a good day. And Fairview doesn't have anything today. First Broad's got a birthday for Larry Goins, so I hope he'll have a good day today. And in my announcements, there will be a celebration of Abraham Lincoln's birthday. Now that's coming up, let's see, that'll be tomorrow. No, that'll be today. So maybe they can pull that off and get that over with. That's at the Lincoln Center in Bostic. Refreshments will be served. They'll have cupcakes. And then they'll have a hill tour leaving at 2 o'clock. Hopefully it'll not be pouring the rain for that. And if you're interested in seeing the birthplace, that's a good opportunity. And so far, that's the only announcement I have. I guess it's just quiet and calm over this way, looking for a good day, and I hope you'll have one, Jim.
Thanks very much, Sue. Enjoy yours, too, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
That's the Cherry Mountain Reporter, 7:35 now. Looking for a good meal for lunch today? Maybe a good hot bowl of soup or a salad, or maybe some, maybe the grinder would be good. Pasta, burger, subs, whatever's on the menu is going to come out fresh. It's going to come out good. One of the best places to eat in Rutherford County has been labeled Gregory's Original. Choose Gregory for lunch, for dinner, or dinners today. Open Monday through Friday, 11 to 9, Saturdays 4 to 9. They're located there in the Park Lane Plaza, Rutherfordton. Or you can call them for a takeout order at 287-2171, 287-2171. Or if you've got a big event coming up and you need an outstanding caterer, let Gregory's do that for you. Well, they're superb in handling the catering job, and you'll be pleased with them. That's Gregory's Original, 287-2171. More than 1 million Americans have heart attacks each year. And if you or a loved one experiences symptoms of a heart attack, every second matters. That's why the emergency department at Rutherford Regional Health System is a chest pain accredited facility. What does that mean to you? It means quality care here at home that could save precious seconds when treating the symptoms of heart attacks. To learn more about Rutherford Regional and its commitment to safe quality care, visit myrutherfordregional.com. Brenda Kelly's on the phone now from Upstate Union Mills to give us the Kelly report on this Monday morning. Brenda, how you doing?
I'm fine. How about yourself?
I'm fine and dandy.
That's good. Glad to hear it.
Got a little frog in my throat I can't get out this morning.
I hope you ain't getting nothing.
I'm going to fight it all I can fight.
I hear you. Todd said Lou wasn't feeling good.
Yeah, she's out with the flu, I think.
Oh, I just hope her mama don't get it.
Yeah, I do too. I do too.
Mm.
I'm surrounded by it. I'm surrounded by it.
I ain't never seen so much sickness in all my life. I can't ever remember this much sickness just being everywhere.
Yeah.
It's just terrible.
And it's not localized either. It's nationwide.
I know it. That's it. Nationwide. You're right. And I want to say congratulations to Stephen Ginger Roop on winning the Carnations this morning.
What about that?
Yeah, I'm glad for him.
First drawing of the morning, and they happen to be the lucky couple to win those Carnations.
There you go, and they'll still be in for the big drawing, won't they?
They will, absolutely.
Yeah, well, good.
Had someone bring a card a while ago, so they can still bring them in to be in the drawing for the next hour. We're going to draw some preliminary. Then tomorrow morning, of course, we'll draw for the big grand prize tomorrow morning. So they need to be in our hands by 8 o'clock in the morning to be in the grand prize.
Yeah, and you always have nice gifts for even those that don't win the big thing.
That's right. We have a lot of good things. A lot of places to go eat and good stuff.
Jewelry and flowers and all that good candy and all that good stuff.
We're the love station.
There you go. We're glad you do things like that.
Thank you.
That's good. And we're glad that you carry Carolina basketball.
Who?
Yeah, I'm glad you do that.
Carry who?
Carolina. They've done good. They played a lot of ball this week, and they got a game today or tonight.
They got one tonight against Notre Dame.
They should be coming up in the standings a little bit. I hadn't heard them yet, but
I don't know what they are. We may find out later today. But but after beating Duke and after beating State Saturday, they should be doing all right now.
That's right. We hope so anyway. Well, let's see. I've got 56 degrees on the front porch. Birthday today. I've got Chase Dotson. Don't have anything on Round Hill, so we hope Chase has a great old big day on his day. In ways of announcement, the Gilkey School Community Center is going to have a concealed gun safety course. Cost is $50. This will be February the 17th at 8 a.m. For information, call 429-7476 or 429-9075.
I interrupt this newscast to bring you the flash. Tar Heels number 4. It's the number 4.
Look at there.
Yep.
Yay.
Go ahead now.
They was, 21?
I think so. Virginia.
Oh, they moving on up.
Who was it, Todd? Virginia, Clemson, Duke, and the Tar Heels.
Well, good. A lot of people thought we were just out of it, but you just never know. It changes from day to day. Then we got an auction at the White House Community Center on Painters Gap Road in Union Mills Saturday, February the 17th. Doors open at 4 p.m. Auction starts at 6 p.m. Kitchen opens at 4 p.m. They're going to have a barbecue plate with baked beans and slaw, and that'll be $5. You can call 828-625-4502 or 828-545-7161 for more details. And other than that, I don't have nothing.
All right, brother. I'm glad you're getting better, and I'm glad you're on the phone with me this morning. You keep improving, and we'll check with you tomorrow. And
okay, have a good
Tar Heels.
Yeah, catch you later.
I'll see you, Brenda. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Duke, that Notre Dame Tar Heel game is tonight, 5:30 countdown, but we'll join that countdown pregame following News 13 at 6. Won't miss any of the game. Isn't it embarrassing sometimes when you're sitting around maybe with family or friends, even just around a kitchen table having coffee or guests are in the house, and this little old black creature with all those legs come crawling up under the refrigerator? Isn't that embarrassing when you know you've sprayed, you thought you had them? Well, call Hutchins Pest Control. They can take care of that for you. 287-5171, 287-5171. Get a free estimate when you call Hutchins Pest Control. When your name's on the company, you know you want to do it right. And that's Hutchins Pest Control. They're honest, dependable, and on-time service. They're voted best in the business for 8 years in a row. And they appreciate the confidence you place them. They're going to work hard to make sure you don't get embarrassed with that little bug crawling up from under the refrigerator anymore. They'll take care of it. Call them again, 287-5171.
Here's what our customers think about McCurry Deck Chevrolet Buick GMC.
I love my McCurry Deck Buick.
I love my McCurry Deck Chevrolet.
We love our McCurry Deck GMC. We guarantee you'll love McCurry Deck Chevrolet Buick GMC for a city.
I am definitely a McCurry Deck customer for life.
I love the price and the McCurry Deck Customer for Life Rewards program. It gives you up to $3,000 or more in rewards.
Take the easy drive to savings. McCurry Deck for a city. Discover the rewards of being a customer for life.
Ellenboro is our next stop, and that's where we'll find Luther Gilligan, Esquire. Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you, too. It's a nice day down here.
Beautiful day in the neighborhood.
It is. What did the man say? It's a good day in the neighborhood. A long time ago, when we used to watch somebody's neighborhood.
What was it? Mr. Rogers.
Mr. Rogers, that's who it was.
Yeah, Fred Rogers.
It's a good day in the neighborhood. If I can get up and see outside, hey, it's a good day.
I agree.
But we had a good weekend. It's sort of soggy yesterday, but hey, we had a nice day. We enjoyed it. Stayed inside most of it. Stayed dry. Let's see, fire department, they had a quiet weekend. Didn't have anything till 3:30 this morning. Had one medical call. Other than that, they've been quiet. Just nothing going on down here. Now, hey, we want to wish happy birthday today to see Joshua Chapman's having a birthday today, and Christy Wilson is having one. So hope these two people have a great day and enjoy their day. And Jim, I say there's nothing else going on down here. You have a great day up there. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Thanks, Luther. Keep us posted, and we'll see you next time.
Take care now.
Bye. Well, it's time for birthdays and anniversaries for this Monday morning, the 12th of February. If you're one of the ones having a birthday or an anniversary, call us and we'll put you in the drawing for Daylight Donuts from Granny B's. 287-3356 is the phone number. Let's see who's celebrating today. We'll celebrate with you, and somebody's going to win some Daylight Donuts from Granny B's. Well, when you want some sound facts about hearing, go see Lisa Terry at Miracle Ear in Forest City. Millions of satisfied Miracle Ear customers worldwide have gotten that great satisfaction, and there's no better respected or well-known brand in hearing aids than Miracle Ear. Why not schedule your free hearing test by calling 828-368-4126. You may want to ask about the Miracle Ear Genius 2.0 with the advanced technology, the high-def sound quality that adapts to your surroundings automatically. Zeroes in on conversations while reducing distracting background noise. It prevents those embarrassing whistling sounds that can occur sometimes. Forest City offices at 1512 West Main Street, Suite 102. And that phone number is 828-368-4126. Miracle-Ear, A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. And some of the best carpet you could ever possibly want to put in your house. You deserve it. You deserve something nice for your family to enjoy. Go by Southern Carpet. They're right next door to Miracle-Ear in the same building, 1512 West Main Street there, Forest City. And talk about what's best for your lifestyle. A lot of traffic in and out. You may want to look at that Tarkett flooring. If you just want a room where it looks pretty and where you just entertain guests from time to time, you might have something else in mind. But talk with them at Southern Carpet about what's best for you. You can find some really outstanding floor covering prices right now only at Southern Carpet, 1512 West Main Street. And check them out on southerncarpet.net. See what's available there as well. That's really something to crow about. It's the Daylight Donuts from Granny B's in Spindale. Get yours today while they're fresh. They're good. They're delicious. It's Daylight Donuts. It's something to crow about. Happy birthday. Well, happy birthday to Emily Russ of Forest City. Emily works at the Harris Elementary School and is celebrating a birthday, so we want to wish her a happy. Patricia Waters over in Sunshine's having a birthday. Johnny and Barbara Bennett over in Rutherford celebrating their 46th wedding anniversary. Chase Dotson is 9 over in Forest City. Goes to Forest Hunt Elementary School. Emily Ruff is 41 over in Forest City. Tiffany Dotson is 19, lives over in the Shallow area. Tony Carroll over in Forest City is having a birthday today. Also on this 12th day of January, or February rather, that's all the birthdays we have. So we got enough to have a drawing this morning to see who is going to enjoy those Daylight Donuts from Granny B's, and that's coming right up.
Karate Kid, young Daniel asks Mr. Miyagi to teach him karate. Miyagi agrees on the condition that Daniel does not question his methods of instruction. Daniel shows up the next day eager to learn. But rather than some great lesson, Mr. Miyagi has him paint a fence using precise motion, up and down, up and down. After the fence is painted, Mr. Miyagi demonstrates the stroke he wants Daniel to use for scrubbing the deck. All the time, Daniel wonders what these things have to do with karate, but he says nothing. Next, Miyagi explains to Daniel the stroke that he wants him to use for washing and waxing 3 weather-beaten cars. Finally, Daniel reaches his limit. I thought you were going to teach me karate, but all you have done is to have me do your unwanted chores. The old man's face is flushed with anger, and he says, I have been teaching you karate. Defend yourself. Miyagi thrusts his arm at Daniel, who instinctively defends himself with an arm motion exactly like that used in one of his chores. Miyagi follows up with a strong kick, and again Daniel diverts the blow with a motion that he learned in doing the tedious work. After several similar exchanges, Miyagi simply walks away. He allows Daniel to discover for himself that the mundane and the repetitive actions of the chores were the means of developing his skills of defense. In a similar way, the repetitive acts of godly living and thinking prepare us to instinctively act when confronted by an attack to compromise our principles and morals. The Bible says, do not grow weary in doing good. This is Bill Hostler with today's key to confident living.
And a big congratulations going out this morning to Patricia Waters up in Sunshine. Patricia has won the Daylight Donuts from Granny B's. Congratulations, Patricia. Now we'll have that certificate here for you, 191 Whiteside Road, Rutherford. We got a lot to pack in this next hour. We're going to have the job market report with Terry Thomas. We're going to check in with our unofficial weather observer to find out how much rain we've had. Going to give away some Valentine prizes for our preliminary winners. Did at 8:30 this morning. Word of Faith speaks out. He'll be here in the studio at 8:30. A lot to pack in this hour. Plus, news from here and there. We can squeeze it all in. What in the world does he squeeze so much in? I don't know either.
NCN News. I am Mike Rayleigh. The fallout continues this morning after President Trump had nothing but good things to say about his aide accused of domestic violence. Rob Porter is out at the White House after he was defended by the Chief of Staff, John Kelly, but as CBS News correspondent Major Garrett reports, the defense from the West Wing is that Porter deceived everyone.
President Trump has been publicly supportive of his former top aide, Rob Porter, even though we are told in private he has recently referred to Porter as, quote, a sick puppy. And there's now a concerted White House effort to shield Chief of Staff John Kelly from the fallout by portraying Porter as someone who deceived Kelly and others.
Election board offices are awaiting the first batch of candidates in North Carolina for this November's election for Congress, the legislature, district attorneys, and county positions. The candidate filing period begins today and continues until February 28th. Now that the budget compromise has been reached after a brief government shutdown, lawmakers will tackle DACA. Representative Mark Walker of Greensboro says there has been a long-range program for them to get citizenship.
That's where you begin to lose Republicans when you start talking about full access to citizenship in front of the line for those that have been waiting here 8, 9, 10 years, trying to obey the law and do it the right way. I don't think that's enough for our Democratic counterparts. I think they're going to want full amnesty.
The European stock market rebounded strongly today as Asia struggled to mount a recovery as volatility grips the global equities. All eyes are on the American markets. Here's CBS's Jill Schlesinger.
It's clear that the big up and down swings in the market are here with us, at least temporarily. That's probably the payback for actually not having many swings for the prior year.
And Gen X, a little studied compound that was found in a North Carolina river at the Cape Fear last year, has also been found in West Virginia. You're listening to NCN News.
Who is the North Carolina High School Athletic Association?
We're dedicated educators, coaches, and mentors.
We are over 200,000 student athletes.
We are 413 member high schools from small towns and big cities, anywhere from Murphy to Manteo.
We're your neighbors and friends that put on the striped shirts and officiate the games you love every week.
We are making a difference in building leaders of communities and this nation for the next generation.
Who are we? We are high school. We are the NCHSAA.
Break away from the everyday with Smithfield's Chicken and Barbecue.
In less than 30 seconds, I know I can make you hungry. Ready? Here we go. Chicken breast, chicken wing, drumstick, pulled pork barbecue, potato salad, coleslaw, sweet iced tea. I don't know about you, but I'm starving. Where am I going? I'm headed to Smithfield's.
Break away from the everyday to Smithfield's Chicken and Barbecue.
A deal to sell the Weinstein Company is on hold after New York's Attorney General filed a lawsuit yesterday. Harvey Weinstein and his former company are named in the lawsuit that alleges sexual harassment, intimidation, and discrimination. CBS News senior legal analyst Andrew Cohen says the AG had the sale in mind when filing the suit.
I think we will see a settlement here. I think that's a far more likely scenario than seeing all these horrific allegations unfold in a New York courtroom a year or two down the road. And if that deal occurs, it will be some sort of vindication for the officials who interjected themselves into this pending sale to try to ensure some remedies for the people who have stepped forward to make these remarkable allegations against Weinstein and others.
Finding new crops to develop, building exports, and making sure immigration provides needed workers. Those are among the key items on the agenda from State Agriculture Commissioner Steve Troxler in a recent State of Agriculture address. Troxler says one key industry could use a boost.
If we're going to grow more sweet potatoes, we got to have a market for them, and the market is probably going to be some foreign market, and that's what we in the department do on a daily basis to try to open these markets.
Top U.S. officials are being cautious in their assessment of whether talks can ease tensions with North Korea. CBS's Cammie McCormick has details.
Secretary of State Rex Tillerson says we'll have to wait and see.
It's too early to judge. As we've said for some time, it's really up to the North Koreans to decide when they're ready to engage with us in a sincere way, a meaningful way. They know what has to be on the table.
Defense Secretary James Mattis told reporters traveling with him that Pyongyang's recent military parade came at a strange time if reduced tensions during the Olympics are to gain any traction.
North Carolina might curb the number of paid holidays community college employees are allowed. That according to a recent...
We are country at its best with a blend of yesterday's memories. WCAB, Rutherfordton.
ABC News. I'm Michelle Franzen. Roads and bridges at the White House today. The president meets with mayors to talk about infrastructure spending. ABC's Karen Travers has more. The Trump administration says it will ask Congress for $200 billion in federal funding as part of the president's budget request out Monday. Officials say this money will come from savings from other areas of the federal budget, but no details on what exactly would be cut in order to make that happen.
A rare open-ended debate on immigration and DACA starts today in the Senate. Republicans are planning on introducing a bill that would provide a pathway to citizenship for nearly 2 million.
To adapt with the weather and just doing your best in any given.
Ohio for 2 slain police officers. Applause for police officers mourning the loss of 2 of their own. Westerville police officers Eric Jorning and Anthony Morelli were shot and killed Saturday, responding to a 911 call. The suspect now facing aggravated murder charges. New York's Attorney General now suing the Weinstein Company and disgraced movie maker Harvey Weinstein, saying it failed to protect employees from harassment. The company says the claims are unfounded. You're listening to ABC News.
Hey, my name's Brant. You ever make a change and then wonder, why didn't I do this a long time ago? That's what's happening for thousands of people with regard to their health care. They're joining Medishare, and then they're wondering, why didn't I already do this? For most members, it costs less than half what they were paying for their old health plan. There's a huge provider network, too. You can customize your plan, and this is awesome. Medishare members can go online with a doctor 24/7. So if you need a prescription for the flu or something, it's so convenient for you and your family. So yeah, this is one of those why did I wait on this things. And if you don't love your current health plan, you're not stuck with it. You can join Medishare anytime. By the way, to give you an idea, the typical savings for a family, about $500 a month. It just makes so much sense. Check it out. They're super easy to talk to. Call 877-26-BIBLE. That's 877-26-BIBLE. 877-26-BIBLE.
Former President Barack Obama and former First Lady Michelle Obama will be back in Washington this morning. They'll be at the National Portrait Gallery for the unveiling of their official portraits. The Secretary of Defense is in Rome talking about the fight against ISIS.
Jim Mattis says the job's not done. His first priority?
Finish off ISIS physical caliphate. That is still underway. Those of you who've been on the plane, remember me saying the fight's not over against ISIS. It's not over. It goes on.
The U.S. is urging allied nations to help deal with the growing number of foreign fighters that are currently being held by the U.S.-backed Syrian Democratic Forces, saying the militants should be turned over to face justice in their home countries. Tom Rivers, ABC News at the Foreign Desk.
There's hope for help in the fight against the flu from a new drug developed by Japanese researchers. Here's ABC's Gio Benitez.
If this drug pans out, you would only need to take it once rather than twice a day for 5 days. And they claim it could kill the virus in as little as 24 hours, meaning patients could feel better faster and have a smaller window to spread the virus to others. The Japanese manufacturer is still testing it and is in discussion with regulators right now, but there's no word on when this will hit the market.
There's a lot of questions today about how a bill just passed in the Virginia State Senate, basically allowing drunk driving. It says drivers can drink and drive as long as they stay on their own property. This is ABC News.
With the stock market at all-time highs, cash in your profits now and invest in an asset that can potentially pay for up to 20 or more years. That's the sound of a producing oil well and the sound of a smart investment. If you're an SEC-defined accredited investor, you can take advantage of Encore Energy's projects. Call now to learn how you can potentially achieve 20 or more years of income and deduct 100% of every dollar invested against all forms of income. Call 1-800-803-8511. That's 1-800-803-8511. Oil investments involve a high degree of risk and actual results may vary.
I'm Michelle Franzen.
You're really missing out if you haven't tried the delicious food at Jesse James Railroad Express. Check out the burgers, clubs, hot dogs, fresh salads, taco salads, chicken and tuna salad plates, and of course, delicious Davis donuts and hand-dipped ice cream. They offer a terrific breakfast with made-to-order fresh just for you. They're open Monday through Saturday, 6 a.m. until 6 p.m. Call out orders at 447-4644. Jesse James Railroad Express, Railroad Avenue, Rutherford. Railroad Express has received an award for the best coffee shop and the best hamburgers and hot dogs. And mention this ad and get a regular hot dog with mustard, chili, and onions, only 99 cents. Mondays only.
We'll look for some patches of light rain around the region early today, otherwise cloudy and cooler than yesterday with a few sprinkles or areas of drizzle in the afternoon. We'll look for highs around 61 to 67 early today. Temperatures may fall from there. Tonight, plenty of clouds, some sprinkles or drizzle possible in spots with lows in the mid-30s to around 40. Then cloudy on Tuesday and much cooler with a small chance of some drizzle or light rain, highs about 40 to 46. I'm Mike Moss in the Weather Center.
It's 58 degrees right now and cloudy. We may get some more showers before it's all over with. You may be experiencing some scattered showers where you are, but right now here in Rutherfordton, just cloudy skies with a 40% chance of precipitation. Now, that's in the forecast every day this week, some form of precipitation, a 50-50 chance tonight and 40% tomorrow. Now, the wind's going to be gusting today about 13 miles per hour, and we have some wind gust later on in the week, but expect some pop-up showers and some scattered showers throughout the week, and the temperature is going to stay to the low to mid to upper 60s most of the day. Again, right now, 58 degrees and cloudy skies. Congratulations to Patricia Waters of Sunshine, who won the De La Donas this morning, and we're being kind to Emily Russ of Forest City, works at Harris Elementary School. We're trying to get in touch with Terry Thomas this morning to find out where the jobs are for this area. We're also going to be checking in with our unofficial weather observer to find out how much rain we've had in the past few days. Well, coin collectors, you'll be happy to know that Norm's Coins has received the 2018 Silver Eagles, the 2018 Panda Bear coins, and all proof sets from 1955 and up. They make great birthday gifts, and Betty is staying on top of the coin market and can assist you with anything you might be looking for. If she doesn't have it in stock, she can get it for you. Coin books, coin supplies are all available at Norm's Coins, right inside Butler's Jewelry in downtown Forest City. Now, they're open Wednesday through Saturday at Norm's Coins, so get your 2018 Silver Eagles before the supply's all gone. Now we're going to check in with Terry Thomas. He can tell us where some job opportunities are here in the area. Terry, good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing great for a Monday. How are you?
Just fine.
Good. Tell us about some job opportunities.
Okay. We are going to start in the Spindle area. We have a sewing trainer position. This job requires 5 years experience in sewing. You will be training new sewers. This job pays $11 an hour. We also have a part-time inbound sales representative working in a call center. You must have a high school diploma and or GED and at least 6 months of sales or customer service experience. This job pays $9.50 to $10 an hour, depending upon experience. We have 2 social worker positions for the Spindle area. One of them pays $38,000 a year, and the other one pays $40,000 a year. You must have a bachelor's degree and at least 3 years experience in social work. Also, we have an income maintenance caseworker in the Spindle area. This job requires a high school diploma and or GED and at least 1 year experience, and this job pays $28,000 a year. In the Rutherfordton area, we have a construction laborer position. You will be working locally and out of town. This job pays from $10 to $12 depending upon experience. We also have a cluster market leader 3 position for the Rutherfordton area. This is working with bank operations. You must have a bachelor's degree and at least 3 years experience, and the pay depends upon experience. We also have a housekeeping position for the Rutherfordton area. This job pays $7.25 an hour. Over in the Polk County area, we have a public health nurse position. This job requires at least an associate's degree and 2 years experience, and this job ranges from $41,000 a year up to $53,000 a year, depending upon experience. If you're willing to commute to the Marion area, Baxter Healthcare is hiring for a filling and pouch operator positions. They will be having a job fair today over at Isothermal Community College over in the Business Science Department, room 120. That job fair is from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. today. For more information on these or other jobs, you can call us at 286-3042, or you can go on our website at www.ncworks.gov.
Terry, thank you so much for that report. We'll look forward to folks getting off the couch and going after those jobs.
It's my pleasure.
See you next Monday. So long.
Yes, sir.
And we're going to talk with Tom Roop here in just a few moments, find out about how much rain we've had in the past few days. That's coming right up.
Hello, this is John Higgins, pharmacist and owner of Smith's Drugs of Forest City. I would like to take this moment to thank all of our customers for their patronage and loyal support over the past year. We look forward to meeting the needs of our customers in everything we do at Smith's Drugs of Forest City. And we're grateful for you and the pleasure we have of serving the residents of Rutherford County. Have a happy and safe New Year from all of us here at Smith's Drugs of Forest City.
Hello, this is Brian King, and we've been proudly serving Rutherford County and its citizens for the past 20 years. Over those years, we've expanded to 12 different locations all across western North Carolina and upstate South Carolina, and we're excited to be a part of the community. We really appreciate all the times that you've trusted our office over the years, and we want to make sure that you know that we're right here to serve you. Looking forward to see you at King Law Offices right here in Uptown Rutherford.
Now, 12 minutes after 8 o'clock here on this Monday morning, the man we always turn to when we have questions about the weather and how much rain we've had and how much snow we've got and all that. Name is Tom Roop. He has that information for us right now. Tom, good morning. How you doing?
Hey, good morning. How's everybody?
Yeah, I tell you, we're sort of sogged in right now, Tom. Tell us what kind of rain we've had in the past few days, I guess.
Well, I guess if we start back when it first started on the 7th, that's about 6 days worth. At this location, we have recorded 4 inches of rain in the last 6-7 days. And the big day was Saturday with 2 1/4 inches. So it come down. The creeks were up and rolling and roaring and water running down the hills and all this. We were lucky we didn't have any flooding, I guess.
There was a flood watch in effect for us until 7 o'clock this morning overnight, so but fortunately nothing that we can see has occurred.
Well, in the last 24 hours, we picked up only a ½ inch of rain, but if you add up all the 7 days, that's total to 4 inches, and for the month, it's already 5.40 for the month, and our normal is 4.6 for the month. So we're ahead there.
We're ahead, yeah, and we hadn't even got to our rainy season yet.
No, not yet.
Yeah. Tom, I do appreciate your time, and thanks for letting us know on it, because a lot of people ask, how much rain have we had? How much rain did we get? So now we got it from you. We know for sure.
Well, make sure that they know at this location only. I'm in the northern end of the county, and it could have rained more in the center.
Sure. It's different all over the county sometimes.
Yeah.
Tom, listen, you have a great Monday and a great week, and we'll check in with you again.
Okay.
Thanks, Tom. Tom Roop there, he is up around the Union Mills, Green Hill area somewhere through there. 14 minutes after the hour of 8 o'clock. We're going to have a drawing here in just a few moments to give away another prize for our Be My Baby Valentine promotion. That's straight ahead.
Customer appreciation sale going on right now through February the 17th at Dragonfly Marketplace, North Washington Street, Rutherford. Beautiful handcrafted jewelry, furniture, vintage items, antique pieces, collectibles, unique wall decor, framed art, and a clothing line. All merchandise is made by local artists. Stop in now for customer appreciation sale through February the 17th. Sign up for door prizes given away every Saturday and receive an additional 10% off your total purchase. Open Tuesday through Friday 10 to 6, Saturday 10 to 4. Phone them at 429-2640. Dragonfly Vendor Marketplace, North Washington Street, Rutherfordton.
Hello, this is Dwayne Hunt with Insurance Service Associates. Are you on disability? Or maybe you're on Medicare? Or maybe both? Come see me, Dwayne Hunt at Insurance Service Associates, about a Medicare Advantage product brought to you by Humana. Please give me a call, 245-5301 at Insurance Service Associates, 127 East Trade Street, Forest City.
We had another drawing a few moments ago. This time we're giving away dinner for two with sides, drink, and dessert. Compliments of Railroad Express out here on Railroad Avenue. And we all the cards that have come in, we'll put them together, have a drawing, give away preliminary prizes today, throughout the day today. Then tomorrow morning, of course, we'll give away the grand prize. And that's when we'll really shower you with some great prizes, including a limousine ride to your favorite place, Gregory's Original. All that takes place tomorrow. Right now, we've reached over here and pulled out a card, and the winner of the dinner for two with sides, drink, and dessert, compliments of Railroad Express. It says, Happy Valentine's, Love Me, Tender by Elvis is her favorite song. And this is Pamela Toms. Pamela Toms is the winner. That's congratulations to her, and we'll make sure that we get in touch with her and present her with that certificate for dinner for two with sides, drink, and dessert. Compliments of Railroad Express right out here on Railroad Avenue. Thanks, Jesse, for allowing us to give away one of your good meals. 17 past the hour of 8 o'clock.
You do a lot. At Northland, we do internet. You do sports. We do internet that makes games easy to stream. You do movies. We do internet that gives you a world of choices. You do family. We do internet that sounds like the real thing. And now you can get speeds up to 100 megs with internet packages starting at $29.99 a month. Call 888 Northland or visit getnorthland.com today. All rates and have tax and fees not available in all areas. Additional restrictions and conditions apply. Actual speeds may vary. See getnorthland.com/offers for full details.
Did you know that Rutherford County's largest pediatrics practice has 5 providers to serve the children and youth of this area? And even better, Rutherford Children's Care is welcoming new patients. With 3 physicians and 2 mid-level providers, the group is available to examine, diagnose, and treat patients from birth to age 18. Rutherford Children's Care is conveniently located at 162 Commercial Drive in Forest City, just behind Big Dave's Restaurant. To schedule an appointment, call Rutherford Children's Care at 828-287-9325. Some stories from here and there this morning as we scan the sources of news. We see that over in Polk County, those of you who are traveling over there, there is a sinkhole that closed the road over there. Repairs are underway. Officials say a culvert pipe gave out, causing a section of Green River Cove Road to wash out over in Polk County. Green River Cove Road is washed out, big hole there, so you can't travel there. According to Polk County Emergency Management, traffic is being stopped in both directions while crew work repair the road. Don't know how long that'll take to get that done, but repairs should take several hours, and officials hope to be able to reopen the road by the evening, but repairs could continue into Monday. This happened yesterday. Have not had word yet if that's open or not. The North Carolina Department of Transportation is assisting in those repairs. Just be aware of that fact. That's Green River Cove Road washed out, and they may or may not have that repaired this morning, so may want to find another route to travel. Meanwhile, a woman in Marion was arrested after she allegedly stabbed her roommate during a fight at an apartment Friday morning. According to Marion Police Department news release, officers responded to the apartment located on Spalding Road in reference to a disturbance between roommates. McDowell County 911 Center received another call a short time later about an assault, which resulted in a stabbing from that same location. When police arrived, they made contact with a 19-year-old victim sitting on the sidewalk with a stab wound. The victim was taken to Mission Hospital by McDowell County EMS for treatment of stab wounds. Officers then made contact with Elizabeth Fabian, a resident in the apartment, with another female at the scene. Investigators were called to the scene and determined an argument led to the fight. Fabian later admitted to stabbing the victim. She was arrested and charged with 1 count of assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill, inflicting serious injury. Fabian was being held on a $100,000 bond in the McDowell County Slammer. According to police, the victim remains in the hospital. Meanwhile, 1 man is dead after shooting during a fight in Cherokee County neighborhood Sunday afternoon down in Gaffney. Deputies believe at least 30 people were in the street on 3rd Avenue watching a fight between several men and women just before 2 o'clock. The Cherokee County Sheriff's Office says one of the men pulled out a gun and fired several rounds One person was shot and taken to Mary Black Hospital in Gaffney, where he died from his wounds. According to deputies, the victim was dropped off at the hospital by two men in a black SUV. The Cherokee County coroner identified the victim as 33-year-old Sherman Tate. The coroner says Tate was shot in the abdomen and died in the emergency room around 4 p.m. Investigators are searching for a person of interest in connection with that shooting. 28-year-old Ricky Eugene Harrison of Blacksburg. Garrison is 6'2" and weighs 195 pounds. Sheriff Steve Mueller says investigators believe the victim and shooter knew each other, and it was not a random shooting. Just an argument ensued, and the victim was shot. 21 past 2 o'clock, we'll have that sheriff's report with Officer Greenway coming up right now. Here is Officer Greenway.
Past 24 hours, we've had 159 calls for service, made 9 arrests, and there's currently 175 people in the jail. Our incident reports, Ronald Stevens reported an incident of felony larceny. There was a fraud in obtaining property by false pretense reported by Chase Little League. Elizabeth Smith reported an incident of financial card theft and misdemeanor larceny. Rebecca Kraft reported an incident of misdemeanor larceny. Bobby Joe Stanley reported an incident of injury to real property. And moving on to our arrest reports, Charles Truitt was arrested of failure to appear on a misdemeanor. Dan Marsh was arrested for child support. Rebecca Kraft was arrested for felony possession of cocaine and possession of drug paraphernalia, and that will complete the morning report this morning.
Thanks very much, Officer Greenway. This, as a reminder, also today is the opening for the election officials. If those of you who want to run for office, 12 o'clock noon opens that gate for you. Primaries for North Carolina will be coming around the village here pretty soon. So if you have an opportunity to run for office, want to file, you can get over there today. It begins at noon today for the May 8th primary election. The filing period ends at noon Wednesday, February the 28th, so there's a little bit of a window there. Candidates filing will take place at the Rutherford County Board of Elections, 298 Fairground Road, Spindale. Filing fees vary according to the office that you want to run for. The most expensive filing fee is for United States House of Representatives. That's $1,740. The fee for clerk of court and district attorney is $892, and for sheriff, $839. The next most expensive filing fee for state house and state senate is $205. The fees for county commissioners are $69, for board of elections, $18. And there are, I think, 3 county commissioner seats up. Sheriff's race is up. Some board of education seats are up. Of course, the House of Representatives always every 2 years is up. So your opportunity to file and run for whatever office pulls your chain. That's happening over there this morning. Stand by, sports update. We'll check the weather, and then Word of Faith speaks out right here live in the studio.
NCN Sports, I'm Josh Zach. College hoops on Sunday. Fighting off consecutive losses at St. John's in North Carolina, the number 9 Blue Devils made easy work of Georgia Tech 80-69. Grayson Allen put up 23 points, and Wendell Carter Jr. had a double-double with 19 points and 10 rebounds.
Playing on Sunday nights is not easy. These are, I think, the hardest games, to be quite frank with you, whether you're playing home or away. I thought we came with a lot of energy. I was proud of Wendell, and I thought Grayson came through, especially on the free throw line, and we're happy with our 8th conference win.
Elsewhere, Wake Forest remains winless on the road in 7 conference games after Syracuse held off Wake Forest 78-70. Deacs head coach Danny Manning.
I thought in the second half we came out and did a much better job of moving the basketball, and defensively we're a lot more active, just not active enough.
On the pro court, the Toronto Raptors routed Charlotte 123-103. At the Olympics, Jamie Anderson won Team USA's 2nd gold medal at the Pyeongchang Games in women's slopestyle snowboarding. That a day after teenager Red Gerard won the men's slopestyle for the U.S. 1st gold medal.
Going into this, I always grew up just watching X Games, Dew Tour, and U.S. Open and all that. So finally be here and realize all this and the huge stadiums and all the people watching and all that, I think I'm starting to get how big the Olympics is.
In day 3 of the Olympics, Team USA also won bronze in team figure skating. Because of strong winds, the women's giant slalom has been moved to Thursday. That's rescheduled Michaela Schifrin's pursuit of gold. She'll begin Wednesday instead of today. Her first race will be in the slalom, where she's the defending Olympic champion. Brad Keselowski led a 1-2 Team Penske sweep Sunday in the Clash at Daytona exhibition race that marks the opening of Speed Weeks. Meanwhile, Alex Bowman, who took over driving the number 88 Chevy for the retired Dale Earnhardt Jr., took the pole for next Sunday's Daytona 500. Denny Hamlin qualified for 2nd. This is NCN Sports.
A Democrat in the governor's mansion, an unconventional Republican in the White House, new state, House, and Senate election maps, all important factors for politics and public policy in North Carolina. What does it all mean? Carolina Journal has the answers, available each month as a free newspaper, every day online at carolinajournal.com. Carolina Journal, your #1 source for government news that affects you. Visit carolinajournal.com today.
The Carolina Hurricanes Super Fun Homegrown Series continues Friday, February 23rd, when the Canes host the Pittsburgh Penguins. On this night and this night only, you can indulge in a savory bologna burger, pecan pie, plus beer from Raleigh's own Lone Rider Brewing Company, and you can take home one of only 200 t-shirts specially designed by North Carolina's own Humbly Made. Join the Redvolution and learn more today at hurricanes.com/homegrown. That's hurricanes.com/homegrown.
Another NFL team has a new coach. After being snubbed by Josh McDaniels, the Colts decided to do the right thing.
Frank Reich comes to the Colts from Philadelphia, where he spent 2 seasons as offensive coordinator for the Super Bowl champs. Reich has spent the last 10 seasons as an assistant, including time with the Colts. Tom McCabe, Indianapolis.
It's worth noting that Reich has been the holder of 2 significant records as a quarterback, having engineered the greatest comebacks in both the NCAA and in the NFL. In 1984, he led the University of Maryland back from a 31-0 deficit to beat the Miami Hurricanes. In 1993, he led the Buffalo Bills back from a 32-point deficit in the AFC wildcard game to beat the Houston Oilers in overtime. There have been several comebacks in college ball since Reich's days at Maryland, but his second-half mastery against the Oilers in Buffalo remains the largest comeback in NFL history. Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
We'll look for some patches of light rain around the region early today, otherwise cloudy and cooler than yesterday with a few sprinkles or areas of drizzle in the afternoon. We'll look for highs around 61 to 67 early today. Temperatures may fall from there. Tonight, plenty of clouds, some sprinkles or drizzle possible in spots with lows in the mid-30s to around 40. Then cloudy on Tuesday and much cooler with a small chance of some drizzle or light rain, highs about 40 to 46. I'm Mike Moss in the Weather Center.
It's cloudy here in the foothills and 60 degrees. We started out at 58, turned to 60 now, going up to 65 for a daytime high, dropping back tonight to around 40 with a 50% chance of rain tonight. Wind gusting to about 18 miles per hour today. Rain's in the forecast all this week, off and on. Scattered showers, isolated showers. You may get some, we may not. That kind of situation this week at all. But be prepared to keep that umbrella handy as rain continues to fall here in the foothills. 60 degrees right now at WCAB in Rutherfordton. Welcome to the Word of Faith Responds. This series of programs will address the issues concerning the negative news reports. This program is paid for by Word of Faith, and the views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the management and staff of WCAB. Now here is Word of Faith Responds.
Good morning again, and welcome to Word of Faith Responds, where you are hearing the truth about the Word of Faith Fellowship, and you have been hearing for the last several programs about the Word of Faith Fellowship prison ministry. We've had a prison ministry where some of the members of our church go into the local prisons and all the prisons in the surrounding counties, and we share about Jesus with people. And you've heard some inmates who participated in the prison ministry with our church, and then when they were released, they actually joined our church, and for several programs now you've heard testimonies of all the things that God has done in their life. And so today we have with us Vince again. Vince started his testimony on Friday, and there's so much that God has done in Vince's life. He's back again to finish part 2 here. And so for those of you who did not hear on Friday, I just want to give a brief summary. And so Vince actually grew up in Morganton and grew up in a home where he was attending church. There was a very tough time in his life when he was little. His mother left his father for another person, and that brought a lot of devastation to him. But his dad still continued to bring him to church, and when he was in high school, he was very devoted to God and even preached and shared in his church along with a friend of his named Bobby Carter. And when he got out of high school, he participated in different ministries and eventually ended up going to Bible college and then joined a ministry as a children's minister, as a youth minister. And it was a little bit later that he met somebody in the church who he ended up marrying. And he looks back, and he was sharing on Friday how he sees God was trying to warn him this was not the relationship for him. But this person he married ended up having serious substance abuse problems and doing drugs in their home. And so this led to a lot of marital problems. Of course, Vince tried to talk with his wife at that time. And so what happened was they ended up separating, but working on their marriage and going to marital counseling. And eventually, there was a situation Vince was involved in. He shared about this on Friday, where he was going to a friend's house who he went to church with, and he found his wife there. And there was an argument that led to a fight with his friend that led to the friend pulling a gun out. And from there, Vince was shot, and there was a wrestling of the gun, and the other person, his friend, was actually shot and died. So if you want to hear more details about part 1 of Vince's story, you can actually go to our website, wordoffaithfellowship.org, and we have all of our radio programs on our website, and you'll see a link that's radio programs, and go to that link, you'll hear it from last Friday. And what happened with Vince immediately after that was he was put in the county jail that night and was looking at first-degree murder charge. And so there was a trial. He was found guilty of second-degree murder, was looking at 12 to 15 years. And so his attorney did apply for an appellate attorney to file an appeal. And the issue was that the jury was not properly instructed with a self-defense instruction. So Vince spent 2 years in prison, not really knowing what was going on with his appeal. Then one day he did receive a call that he was to be released immediately per judge's order. The Court of Appeals actually granted his appeal, ruled in his favor, and overturned the guilty verdict. He was sent back to McDowell County, which is where he was tried, and as he went to the jail there, he was thinking he was going to be released, but it turns out that the district attorney decided to retry him. And so he is waiting in jail. He's waiting for his retrial. That brings you up to date if you did not hear Fridays. And so I'm going to let Vince pick up from there. Vince?
That was very fast. Very broad cover there in a few minutes. Good morning, everybody, and I'm so glad to be with you this morning. And I hope anything that I would say would encourage you and help you to turn to Jesus this morning, whatever might be bothering you today. But I'm very grateful that God heard my cry when I was at Eastern Prison, and I got on my face and I said, God, I know I'm not in my place, and God helped me, and He did, and I won the appeal, and I had no idea that was going to happen. But as I was sitting in the county jail, I didn't know what was going on, and then all of a sudden they told me that I was going back to trial for a new trial. Well, I had no attorney, and I used all my money from the previous trial, and I just didn't know what I was going to do. But my former attorney, which was in Hickory, was a private attorney, and he wasn't on a court-appointed list. He said, well, I'll be your court-appointed attorney, but I don't know if they'll appoint me. Well, I was blessed in that I went to court, and while I was waiting, the bailiff came to get me, and he said, Ledford, if I was you, I wouldn't say a word when you go in that courtroom. The judge, I guess he wasn't too happy that day, but so I went in the courtroom, and I thought to myself, I might have to say something. So when I walked in the courtroom, I looked up, and it was my trial judge that was there that I won my appeal against. So at first I didn't say a word, and he began to ask who my appellate attorney was, and they didn't know. And so they said, well, who is the next on the court-appointed list? And it was some attorney I didn't know. And I thought, God spoke to me and said, speak up. And I said, Your Honor, Mr. Brackett's willing to be my court-appointed attorney.
Was this the attorney that you had the first time that you actually...
Yes.
This is the one you talked about you actually had to pay a lot of money for.
Right.
Okay.
$25,000 at that time. And he had initially told me he would need an additional $10,000 to represent me. And I told him, I said, I don't have it. And he said, well, I'll be your court-appointed attorney, but if they'll allow it. So the judge said, well, strike what I said and appoint him Mr. Brackett. And I was so very grateful that I obeyed God, and God granted me that favor. But I got on my face in that jail, and I cried out for mercy. And I said, God, help me. Because I knew I was in the hands of God. And at that time, I was just so discouraged and beat down that I didn't want to talk about much about I was ever a preacher or I ever was in the ministry. And I went to Bible studies, and one of the men there really knew me. He said, Vince, anytime you can share, I'd like for you to share. And so I wouldn't, and then they left. And there was nobody to share with those men the scriptures. And God said, you better share because you know the word, and I'm going to require your blood on your hands, if you don't tell them about me. And I began to every night study and preach and teach them the hymn songs.
Was this in the McDowell County Jail while you were awaiting your retrial?
Yes.
Okay. How long were you in that county jail?
15 months.
Okay.
And so that I knew that it was a testing of God proving my heart whether I wanted to serve Him or not. I felt like at that time. So after those, it was about 9 more months after I started doing that I came up for a plea agreement, and it was for manslaughter. And I was very grateful for that, and I felt like that it was just and honest, but I had never been offered a manslaughter plea before. So I was willing to take that, and so I was very grateful. So after I pled guilty to the manslaughter charge, I went to Salisbury Prison. And when I was at Salisbury Prison, one of the things I remember that was so wonderful to me was getting to walk out from the dorms and go over to the other building for chapel service. And I could look up at night and see the stars. And it had been over a year or a couple years since I'd been out in the middle of the night, and I could hear the frogs and the crickets. I mean, just that privilege. I mean, some people don't understand where I'm coming from, but, it was a blessing to me that God gave me that
How many
chance.
years did you end up getting for the plea of manslaughter?
6 to 8 years.
So your original sentence of 12 to 15 was, in essence, cut in half? Is that
Yes,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
So I left there and I went to a prison called Caledonia. And when they put me on the bus or gave me my my little bag to go to Caledonia, everybody was like, "Oh, you're going to Caledonia. What'd you do?" And I'm like, "I don't know." And I knew that this place was a very rough prison. So when I got there and I was going down the aisleway, and this prison's probably built in the 1800s. It's the oldest prison east of the Mississippi. And I heard these guys, they'd holler out my name, and I had a prison name at that time, and they'd holler out my name, and I was like, "Oh no, they're here." And I was like, I know this place is pretty rough, because I knew the kind of character they were in the other prisons I would been with. But I called my pastor at that time, and I said, "I do not want to be here." And within a short amount of time, I was on the bus and transferred to Avery Mitchell. And I was very grateful. God heard my cry there. And then shortly after that, I left Avery Mitchell, and I made minimum custody. And I ended up in Asheville at a prison in minimum custody where there was no fence. And that was really a great blessing. And I began to work at the Veterans Cemetery, taking care of the cemetery. And I got a phone call from a lady who wanted to know why I wasn't in the culinary program. And I told her, I said, "Well, I don't know. They gave me this job." And she offered me to go to Spindale.
Had you previously applied for the culinary classes?
I had.
And is that something that was at one time offered in Asheville?
It was.
Asheville prison?
Yes.
Okay.
And so I had went there for that, and somehow things didn't work out, and I didn't get to be involved in the program. And she wanted me to continue it if I wanted to, but that meant coming to Spindale. And so leaving Asheville meant that I would leave from a prison that had no fences and not working on a public job, and going back into a prison with fences and working inside. And I would lose all my passes that I had there, where I could go to church services, and it was going to be a big challenge for me.
When you were in the Asheville prison, did you actually go out to church services and have people pick you up, and sponsorship type programs?
I did, and it was wonderful. I mean, it meant a lot to me. And I actually put on regular clothes and go to church. And so when I came to Spindale, it was kind of starting over again.
So how did you actually decide to go to Spindale? You were in Asheville, has no fence around it, as you said, which is amazing. I didn't know there was prison out there that has no fence. But so you have these passes, and you're working this job. So what made you ultimately decide to go to Spindale here at the Rutherford Correctional Center?
Well, when they gave me that decision, I went to work at the VA cemetery, and I had my little pack-out lunch that they give you a little couple sandwiches. And I went down, and I sat there next to where our building is, and the creek ran by, and I said, "God, all I want is your will. Is this the will of God for my life?" And I knew that it was a decision that it would set my life on course, that I felt in my heart, and that's all I wanted was the will of God. And I felt in my heart it was what God wanted me to do. And even though all the things I would be giving up, the most important thing to me was to be in the will of God. So when I came to Spindale, I was there maybe a couple weeks, and this was July 2008. And I saw some men on the yard who were talking to inmates, and I knew that they weren't, just in work clothes, and they were trying to reach out and talk to me. And I asked somebody, who's those men? And they said, "Oh, that's from that cult church," or something negative. And I thought, well, they can't be too bad of people. They're in here trying to help us. I mean, we're the ones that's the bad people. I mean, they're reaching out to us. And so I paid no attention to it. I mean, I've been in the newspapers and everything else, so I went up to DeWitt Prince and began to open my heart to him and tell him my background and where I came from. And he asked me, so, "Well, you know Bobby Carter?" And I was like, yeah, I know Bobby Carter. I said, I've known him since I was a teenager, and I used to preach with him. He said, well, Bobby goes to church with me. I said, he does. And I thought, you know, this church can't be too bad if Bobby Carter goes there, because if anybody knows the Bible and loves God, it's Bobby Carter. And so I began to talk to DeWitt and Douglas. Douglas was also with DeWitt. And they encouraged me that God had a plan for my life, and they wanted to help me. So at that time, Chaplain Logan had taken me out one time to one of the churches for church services, but I didn't have a sponsor. And it came up on Thanksgiving. Well, for me, Thanksgiving was an important time that week for my family. And we always usually went to church, and afterwards we'd have a dinner, and families would eat with us. And so I wanted to go to church, and there was nobody to take me. So I went to Douglas McDonald, and I said, Douglas, could you take me out to church Thanksgiving? And he said, well, I don't know. I don't, I don't take nobody, but I'll check and see. So he came back and he said, sure, I can take you out. And I was excited. And he said, well, do you have any church clothes to wear? And I'm like, well, not really. Not what I call church clothes. But so shortly, a few days later, I was working at the kitchen, and they called me down to the office, and it was a program supervisor. And I walked in, and he said, Mr. McDonald brought some clothes for you to try on. And so when I went to put these clothes on, he brought me some shoes. And those shoes were Johnson Murphy's. And maybe to some people that don't mean nothing. But to me, in my heart, that was what I wanted to wear, to have another pair of Johnson Murphy shoes to wear to church. And they're very expensive shoes. And I knew that God heard my cry, and that he put that in Douglas's heart. And come to find out, those were Sam Whaley's shoes. And I mean, I knew right then that these people were sincere about caring about my life. And nobody had done that, and even at the other church. And I mean, I hadn't even been there yet, and they're already sending me some clothes to wear and to go to church. And so many negative things were being said to me on the yard. Well, do you not know who that church is? Do you not know they have guard towers, and they have all these negative things? And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. And so I came to church on Thanksgiving Day, and it was having seminar that week. And so after church, we all went to Ryan's for dinner. And about 20 people went to eat lunch with me that day who never knew me for the first time, except for Bobby. And Bobby was there. And DeWitt Prince's mother was up from South Carolina, and I got to meet her for the first time. And Ann said, Vince, I'll be your mother. And she reached out, and I just felt so much love at that time, And so, but when I got back...
These were all people from the Word of Faith Fellowship?
Right, from the Word of Faith.
Okay.
So I was so grateful, and so I asked Douglas to keep taking me out. But I was having people come up to me and say, why you want to go to that church? I said, well, I don't know what you're talking about, what you've been hearing. Have you ever been there? No, but I've heard all of these things. And I'm like, I'm not seen or heard or anything what you're talking about. But all I knew is I experienced the love of God. And the next time I came, of course, I met Frank Webster and Mark, who's with me today. And they reached out to me, and Frank began to go eat with me. And I asked Frank, I said, Frank, would you be my sponsor? And let me tell you something. Frank was a prosecuting attorney from Burke County at that time. And I thought, this must be God. How would a prosecutor be interested in a prisoner? He locks people up. And why would he want to come to a prison and be interested in my life? And Frank came and spent some hours on the yard so he could be my sponsor. He wasn't afraid. And he became my sponsor and would come and get me every Sunday when we go out to eat. And that meant so much to me that I knew that it was God, that I just felt so much love. And there was a lot going on during that time that people they were jealous of me. I handed some visitation forms out because I wanted some of the people from the church to come see me. And they gladly filled those out and wanted to come see me, and they would bring some food to eat. And we would sit and sing the songs that I'd sing in church. I believe in miracles. And that was one of the songs that really touched my heart that I learned from the church. I believe in miracles. And another song that we'll shortly sing was one of the scriptures that God put in my heart. That song was with my scripture. And the people began to see in prison my life, how happy I was, and with the people that were fellowshipping with me. They knew that I had something that they wanted. And so they began to ask me, hey, could you see if they'll take me out to church? So I began to say, hey, such and such, they need a sponsor and they want to go to church. And so I knew that my obedience to God to come to the church, no matter what I felt and the pressure, was making a way for other inmates to come to know Jesus. And that was the most important thing in my life, that I knew that scripture in Isaiah where God said that I was called to bring men out of prison and bring them into the light, that I was fulfilling that call. And that was of greatness.
And for time's sake, you were actually released in 2009, is that right?
Yes.
And just tell the listeners, for time's sake, to wrap this up, you're here with us today.
Yes.
I know you obviously joined our church after you were released. And so you've been with our church really since 2009 to the present. Just tell the listeners, if you would, some of the things that God's done in your life since you've been out of prison, since you've been part of Word of Faith Fellowship.
Well, the thing of it was I experienced why. I remember when I went to prison and when I was going down that long hall and sitting in central prison, why God did this happen to me. But I realized from Ephesians chapter 2 that there's things, when we follow what the devil tells us to do, we end up being in places and doing things that we shouldn't do, and it sets our life on course. But I realized too that out of James chapter 4, verse 9 and 10, when we've had those illicit affairs with the world and bringing curses on our life, that when we humble ourselves and we cry out to God, God hears those cries, and He hears your cry today. And God wants to answer those cries and change our life. And I realized from Job chapter 33, if you'll read that chapter, God binds us up in affliction, not to destroy our life, but that we might turn to Him and cry out to Him, that He might extend His love and mercy to our lives. And today I know that that's what happened to me, that God set on course for my life by coming to the church. And there's more miracles that God done for me. I mean, I had cancer. Terminal cancer, was only expected to live maybe a few months. Had to go through chemo for over a year, and it was very, very difficult to make it through. But I got prayer. Everybody was praying for me. I remember those times when Jane Whaley's daughter, Robin Webster, came down and just put her hand on me and prayed for me and cried out to God for my life. And why does people want to attack people who just love God and love people? I don't understand.
And you have just heard from Vince, and a really powerful testimony. And Vince, I just want to say we have so loved having you part of our church, and God has done such a work in his life. And one of the scriptures that God gave Vince, and he ran out of time, but God actually gave him a scripture in Psalms 102, and it's really talking about how Jesus hears our cry, and it says that he will regard the plea of the destitute and will not despise their prayer. For he looked down from the heights of his sanctuary. From heaven did the Lord behold the earth, to hear the sighing and groaning of the prisoner, to loose those who are appointed to death, so that men may declare the name of the Lord in Zion and his praise in Jerusalem. And Vince has seen that in his life. And today we have Carol with us again and her daughter Jessie. They're going to sing the song that God has given our church to those words.
And he's here to deliver, and he's here to deliver, and he's here to deliver, and he's here. I've heard your groans, I've heard your cries, I've come down to deliver you. I sent my son, he shed his blood, I've come down to deliver you. I've heard your groaning, I've heard your sighing. I look down from the height of my sanctuary. From heaven I beheld the earth, to hear the sighing, to hear the groaning of the prisoner, to loose those appointed unto death, to loose those appointed unto death. I regard the plea of the destitute. I will not despise their prayer. I hear their groans, I hear their cries. I've come down to deliver them. I sent my son, he shed his blood to deliver the destitute, so they may declare the name of the Lord, and my people shall see my glory, and my people shall see my glory. And he's here to deliver, and he's here to deliver, and he's here to deliver, and he's here.
And that was Carol and Jessie with Annie's Here to Deliver. And we just want to encourage you today that God is here to deliver you. And we have all been destitute. We have all been in some ways imprisoned. And Jesus is waiting for you to cry out to him. And when you cry out to him, he will hear your cry. He will come down from heaven and he will deliver you. So we encourage you today to turn your heart to God with everything in you, and God will hear your cry. Thank you so much for tuning in again. This is Word of Faith Response. Please go to our website at wordoffaithfellowship.org to learn more about our church, and I hope you have a great day.
Amen.
Enjoy the Atlanta Braves and NASCAR here on the Foothills Most Sports Station, WCAB Rutherfordton.
Variety makes radio listening a pleasure. We have it. News, weather, sports, talk shows, today's country hits, and yesterday's memories. WCAB Rutherfordton.
What makes a good radio station? Local involvement, complete news coverage, sports, constant weather updates, talk shows, contests, today's country hits, and yesterday's memories. Come to think of it, I guess you're listening to it. WCAB.
Get your message to the thousands. Call the WCAB sales department today at 287-3356.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. The White House is kicking off Infrastructure Week by hosting mayors from across the country today and calling for $200 billion in spending.
The administration hopes this infusion of federal dollars will stimulate $1.5 trillion in new investment, which translates to state and local governments and private partnerships bearing the brunt of the financial burden for what the president has designated a key 2018 policy goal. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
In a tweet this morning, the president says it's time to start investing in America after, quote, so stupidly spending $7 trillion in the Middle East. The new White House budget proposal has been delivered to Capitol Hill. It includes billions in requests for border security. The Senate today begins an open-ended debate on immigration and the future of DACA and the Dreamers. NTSB investigators are on scene of the deadly crash of a tour helicopter in the Grand Canyon. Here's ABC's David Curley.
One witness talked about the helicopter circling in an unusual manner, like going around twice and then falling out of the sky, hitting and its tail breaking off, and then several explosions following. What's remarkable is watching the video, according to this witness, you can see at least one of the survivors walking away from the flaming debris.
3 on board were killed. The other 4 remain in critical condition. At the Olympics in South Korea, more cases of sickness sweeping parts of the Olympic staff.
The number of norovirus cases here continues to grow. New numbers in from Olympic organizers. There are now 194 confirmed cases here at the Games, 17 new cases just today. 174 of the 194 have been released from quarantine. Many have been security guards who have gotten sick.
ABC's Alex Stone in Pyeongchang. And in about an hour, former President Barack Obama will be looking at himself. Both the former president and the First Lady will be on hand for unveiling their official portraits at the National Portrait Gallery. You're listening to ABC News.
Hey, my name's Brant. You ever make a change and then wonder, why didn't I do this a long time ago? That's what's happening for thousands of people with regard to their health care. They're joining Medishare, and then they're wondering, why didn't I already do this? For most members, it costs less than half what they were paying for their old health plan. There's a huge provider network, too. You can customize your plan, and this is awesome. Medishare members can go online with a doctor 24/7. So if you need a prescription for the flu or something, it's so convenient for you and your family. So yeah, this is one of those why did I wait on this things. And if you don't love your current health plan, you're not stuck with it. You can join Medishare anytime. By the way, to give you an idea, the typical savings for a family, about $500 a month. It just makes so much sense. Check it out. They're super easy to talk to. Call 877-26-BIBLE. That's 877-26-BIBLE. 877-26